Behemoth was added recently, or maybe like 3 weeks ago because I'm late on this video, and plus I've been busy with 2D TDX. More to see on that soon. Anyways, let's talk about Behemoth's early levels. Levels 1 to 3 just increases DPS and spawn rate. The Behemoth tanks at these levels have single shot slow fire rate splash attacks. It also wields very high HP in its early levels, while also having collision resistance, making it really effective with its ram damage. It's pretty good in its early levels as a lead catcher due to its high HP. As you can see here, I ran a really weak expert loadout, and a wave that normally would have killed me was taken out effectively with Behemoth's help. As soon as Behemoth reaches level 4, its HP, DPS, and collision resistance gets increased further, and its main attack has a burst of 2. Not much to say about this level, as Behemoth is really only good for serving as a sub DPS and lead catcher at these levels. Once it reaches max level, this thing becomes an absolute beast. With its recent buffs, its double shot main attack now does an insane amount of damage, capable of shredding through chunky hordes. It also wields a machine gun to take out small enemies, and has a missile pod that actually has flight detection. All of its attacks combined gives each Behemoth nearly 7,400 DPS. Also, this thing has 70% collision resistance, making it able to tank some of the tankiest enemies in the game just through ram damage. Its HP with 70% collision resistance is equivalent to 105,400 ram damage possible with each Behemoth. It also wields incredibly long range. One other thing is that it lacks stealth detection, so pairing it with something like Ghost or Laser Gunner to de-stealth enemies is a great idea. Also, it moves super slow, letting it get a lot of value out of its lifespan. Use Behemoth against MK2+. During the fight, you can see how much damage Behemoth does from its attacks and ram damage, and you'll also see its anti-air in effect. Yeah, I don't know how to support it, but this thing is way too strong and needs a nerf. Now let's talk about bottom path. At level 3 and 4, it wields long range laser shots that deal single target damage. It's mainly good for DPS on single targets, not much else to say. At level 5, it ignores laser resistance and has one of the largest ranges in the game, making it really good on very open maps. It mainly serves to deal high damage to single targets across the map. And contrary to popular belief that level 5 laser behemoths suck now, it still deals incredibly high damage to single target bosses, and is still a really cheap option for sub DPS. I just don't see how they're so terrible like everyone says. Like you can see right there, it just shredded Destructor. And here it is against MK2+. A couple things I want to add on as well, is that I agree that it's outclassed by Top Path, because Top Path has just way more like to it than Bottom Path, if you get what I mean. So I personally wouldn't use Bottom Path unless Top Path gets a big enough nerf. And I was also used Bottom Path on like the very long range maps. Just mainly because Top Path doesn't have nearly as much range as Bottom Path. Also, I would use Top Path only in Nightmare mode and other events like Xmas Nightmare Part 2. Mainly because the collision resistance is so high, and because the splash damage and sheer DPS is going to be better for those dense horde modes. In summary, Top Path heavily outshines Bottom Path. More DPS, more health, more collision resistance, anti-air, splash damage, all that. Bottom Path would be better only on long range maps, so that's when I would only use it. Anyways, I'll let you watch the rest of the MK2+ fight. Thank you for watching.